It's taking so long to... There we go. Hello, gamers. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Spaceballs, yes. Starsector Saturday on a Wednesday now. Someone said. It is Starsector, my dudes, exactly. I want to start streaming a little more. I tried it, because I've been doing it at least once a week, occasionally twice a week, but now I want to try doing it twice a week more consistently. Whoa, hey, didn't expect to stream. Well, Extinction Bomb. You know what they say, expect the unexpected. We're so back. Well, it's appropriate for Jon Snow to be saying that. Because Jon Snow did come back. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the last stream I do for this particular run. Because we're basically at an endgame fleet. Everything's more or less maxed out. Characters are near max. All the officers are near max level. Just need a few more story points to get S mods on all of our ships. Not a lot left to do at this point. Not a lot left to do. So mostly just going to be testing the power of the fleet against endgame threats, which will at the same time give me the story points to max out all my ships. Honestly, fitting stream since it's Labor Day Eve today. Well then, where are all the viewers? I should be getting 1 million viewers, but what are they doing? Spending time with their families? Oh my god. Unbelievable. You should be in here feeding my ego and writing... what was the term that low-tier god used? Like, you gotta keep smelling the syrup. You know, you keep coming back. I keep sealing up the cracks, you keep coming back, but your purpose is to be on this dick daily. Right? No, I'm here. Well, yeah, nonetheless, I am here. And, well, if in the face of an extinction bomb, that may or may not be a good thing. Yes, those with friends are getting drunk. I'm here for the syrup. Well, that's good, James. What the heck, he's live? That's, yes, the cheese wizard. The inventor of the cheese touch. Yes, we're going to be finishing up this one. Finishing up this playlist. Where are the money fish? New episode coming out tomorrow. I want to finish that one. Yeah. You're my idol. Well, thank you, Coach, and nothing. Hello there. Well, that's a very Obi-Wan Kenobi line. Let's see. I think it's currently... Yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a bug where you load in, and it says no active comm relay in system. Even though if you look at the system, there's clearly a comm relay. So maybe if I unpause... and then I look at it. Yeah, it just gained 2 stability. That'll do it. Wednesday stream, Saturday experience. Well, I can't reuse the joke too often. Here to watch. Well, good to see you, Kairos. Yeah, we're going to be clean. We're just basically going to focus on maxing out the fleet, killing some endgame threats, and setting up for starting a new game. Although on Friday I would rather... So what I want to do right now is on Friday I want to do another chat builds my fleet type stream. Because that was a lot of fun. The difference is we're going to be fighting threat instead of Dorito. That could be really cool. And then what I want to do is on Sunday start up a new run, which is still going to be vanilla, but the gimmick is 0 deaths. And I mean 0 crew deaths. Is it possible to do a 0 deaths run? And I think the answer is yes, because you can do automated ships for your combat ships. It's just going to be a bit tricky to like get there, but I think it's doable. Also, salvaging can potentially lose you some lives, so you've got to be careful with that. I'll have to study up on the mechanics to see if there's a way to guarantee that you don't lose anyone. But in theory, it's possible. I mean, like, if it ends up being too hard, then I'll just stick to the original idea, which was automated ships only. But, I mean, why stop with automated ships only if you could do a full 0 crew deaths run which would be a lot easier if you use automated ships. Lore, 0 crew death would be absolutely be the worst way to possible start for sure. Yeah, it's definitely going to require a few problems to be solved. Another chat builds fleet? Yes, that's the plan. Yeah, we're going to be the opposite of the typical John Starsector on Sunday. We're going to, instead of carelessly throwing away lives, we're going to keep our crew safe. All right, you're not just getting 10 credits a month. No. You're getting 10 credits a month and benefits of not dying. Right? John, this is going to be a John Starsector who cares about his crew. But you lose crew when salvage debris fields. Yeah, there's definitely a risk of that. Although it might be possible to get the risk low enough if you have enough, because there's like different risk levels depending on the debris field, and it also depends on like your heavy machinery. So there might be situations where the risk is 0%. That orphan counter better be at 0. Well, no, we're going to be making orphans out of our enemies, just not our crew. That's the difference. Right? See, because I am ontologically good, and they are ontologically evil. Therefore, no act against my enemies is wrong. John Caresector. Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe I'll name that. Actually, that might be the right name for him. I'll just straight up call him John Caresector. Hello, gamers. Hello, regulatory stars. Salvage skill reduces by 75%. Yeah, it says 75% crew lost in non-combat, but that... Like, if you lose 4 crew and this reduces it down to 1, that still fails the challenge. That's the problem. It just depends on exactly how the mechanics work. Spark spam, spark spam, spark spam. Yeah, that might be part of the strategy. Especially since they got buffed. So going in with like scintillas and spamming sparks could be part of that could be fun. Going to be a lot of bulkheads installed. No, we're just going to do all in on automated ships. No crew. So even if the ship explodes, it's no big deal. Thank you for your low-tech builds. Love me some DACA. Well, I'm glad you like them. Schmelter. Are we using any mods? No. Profit margins are going to be huge. No payroll. Is not losing crew even possible? Even now, you're not taking a scratch, you still lose. Well, that's what I'm saying, is I'm going to do all automated ships, right? Because this, if you're using gamma cores, you can get automated ships and use 120 deployment points, which is half your fleet. And then, if you throw in like if you clear the, well, first of all, you get the Onslaught Mark 1, which does not count against your automated ships limit. So you can throw that in, that gets you up to 170, and then the remaining 70, you can use the automated ships from the weapons from that cache around the Planet Killer. Right, so between the automated ship skill, the Onslaught Mark 1, and those 14th Legion automated ships, combined together, you can have a fully automated fleet. There's 0 crew being sent into combat. Weird looking Sunday, I know. Starsector Sunday, Wednesday edition, yes. AI ships from Sentinel also. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The ones from Sentinel. And you can use automated fighters, yep. Add answering all distress calls, care for all humanity. I think it's going to be hard enough just not losing any crew. If I end up completing the challenge, then maybe I'll throw that in for the next one. War Sector Wednesday. I love war crimes. Very true, Phineas Blade. First started grinding the stream before I even stopped grinding at work. Crazy. I'm a crazy guy. I'm a maniac. But can you have an Alpha Cord Radiant? Probably not. Not in that fleet structure. Yeah, Teamfight Tactics is kind of fun. I haven't played it in a couple years, but when I did play it, it was pretty fun. The Robotic Legion can only use robotic fighters. Well, yeah. I mean, if you were to use crewed fighters like Talons in a challenge where you're trying not to lose any crew, Talons would be a really bad idea. Throwing sparks at the enemy could be a really good idea. I don't think I needed much right now. Yeah, I've got like 3,000 supplies. I think really all I need to do is drop off some stuff. Like, we'll sell this on the open market. It's fine. Then I think I'm going to drop all these weapons off in home. Oh, apparently I never right-clicked that. That's funny. Just kind of sitting there. Yeah, I'm going to drop these weapons off at home, get a little more fuel, and then head right back out to the Abyss. Actually, are they even using up that much cargo space? Hold on. Let's have a look. We're at 3,500. Let's try... They're using up like 200, which is not that much. I think we can pretty safely just go back through the wormhole, or the gate. Let's do that. You could possibly answer distress calls on this playthrough. Yeah, with the complete lack of level 7 officers, that would make sense. I just forget. I'm so mad for people are saying the Prometheus Mark 1 isn't a combat ship. It's on the... Yeah, it really is like a combat ship that just so happens to carry a massive amount of fuel. If you really look at the stats, right? Like, let's look at these stats. Okay, 95 ordnance points, 10 deployment points. The same as a Hammerhead. You look at that armor. Look at that hull. Again, for 10 deployment points, look at that armor and hull. And you get a cruiser, or rather a capital grade targeting unit, 60% bonus range. You've got a medium ballistic slot and a bunch of small slots. So you can throw in some like railguns in these slots and then throw in like a heavy mauler here or something. With a targeting unit and this kind of armor and hull, just shield shunt it. It doesn't matter that the shield is terrible. Just shield shunt it. It'll be fine, at least for the early game. Rangefinder also probably too expensive, because that is going to cost you a lot, and you've only got a medium ballistic as your largest anyway, so the range bonus from that wouldn't be worth it at that point. How's your Paladin base ship going? This is going pretty well, if that's what you're talking about. Hello, hello, my computer is dead, so phone watching time. Well, I hope your computer gets better. You know, give it lots of rest. I mean the custom mod one. Oh! I mean, oh yeah, I guess I should update it for the new patch, huh? I mean, theoretically, it should be fine as long as you just go into the file and change the number. Like, there's nothing about it that would be incompatible with the current patch, but I guess I might as well at least go do that myself officially. I kind of forgot, to be honest. Is the IR Autolance worth it on the Anubis instead of another Paladin? I'm pretty sure I put this here because I just couldn't find another Paladin for a while. Although I guess now I do have that third Paladin. I've just kind of left it here for the most part. I mean, 2 Paladins do the job of point defense just fine, so I guess throwing a third one in that's more focused on hull damage seems like a fine idea. Although, really, I want to put a Rift Torpedo here, but, you know, unfortunately, the Tesseracts didn't give me any. Does Sleep Paralysis Demon mean what I think it means? Well, we're in the Abyss, so I'll let you puzzle that one out. Do you think Medusas are decent escorts with escort package, or do they function better as a fast attack craft? I think that they can definitely act as an escort, and they do that job fine, but there are other destroyers that can do the same job, whereas, like the Manticore, for example, can do a really good job as an escort. Whereas if you're looking for a fast attack destroyer, then the Medusa is really the only one that does that job, and the Manticore can't. So it's kind of in an awkward spot where it's like, yeah, the Medusa can do that, but like, you're not really making use of its unique talents in that case. Yeah, we're going to do a medium. Okay. I think what we're going to do is this, and then we're going to deploy you guys back here, like so. And hopefully this means that you guys don't die like idiots. But who knows? Anything can happen, really. Manticore and Cinder are prime escort package material. Yeah. They've really got that range. So, like, the Medusa's not bad at it, for sure. But it's like, if you're looking for point defense, the Anubis is probably going to be better. Like, yeah, it's more expensive, for sure, but I think that the extra cost seems to be worth it. In fact, it might be funny for, like, the Season 2 of Brawl King to really double down on the fleet composition I used last time. It's like, you've given me more deployment points? Alright. I'm still going to bring a Paragon, and I'm just going to bring an Anubis to escort it now. In fact, I'll bring 2 Anubis. Try and beat that, Grendels. I mean, I might do that. I don't know. Honestly, there's kind of an appeal to being really predictable and just kind of doing more or less the same fleet composition. Because that way, I don't know, like it kind of builds sort of like an identity. So it's like if you see me in the fleet in like the tournament, you know that I'm going to be going for the same thing. But also, it gives me a convenient excuse for when I lose, right? If I lose, or I should say, if I lose, then it'll be like, well, it's not really. I mean, I just had to do the same fleet composition because that's what people know me for. Therefore, if people counter it, it's not really my fault. You know, I couldn't help it. It's a really convenient excuse, which is great. Whatever, go my 80 Grendels. You misspelled gremlins, because Grendels, you can't actually fit 80 of them. Fun fact. You can't actually get 80. So the eye is just kind of chilling over here, I guess. Fighting all this crap, which is not doing it any favors. And this fleet formation does seem to be... nobody's died yet, so that's a good start. Alright, let's just kind of position ourselves so this guy is in between and blocking the eye. That seems like a good idea. Do we know what these things are? Apparently they are hyperspace storms. There's some kind of like... They don't even seem to be like alive or anything. They're just... At least they seem to be just some kind of like physics. Like a knot in physics. That some people some people in universe have described as an evil storm. Yeah, we got him. Please don't kill me. Yeah, see, this is working really well. Like, the Maw and the Maelstrom are getting bodied by all the big ships. And the Eye is getting distracted shooting all these little guys and not succeeding at all. Isn't one... No, you're escorting it. Right, okay. I was a little confused. I forgot that I put the Harbinger as the escort and not the other way around. Which might be the right call. Alright, I've stunned him. Finish him off. Excellent. I mean, we've still got room for more S-mods and levels on our guys. Get him. And there goes the eye. Nice. Unnatural phenomena. Oh yeah, we don't really know about that. It might be unnatural. It might be completely natural. They may be the ores before you know this. They might be the spiritual successor to the ores. It's possible. Oh, that thing moves fast. Well, it died anyways. They have to be linked to whatever makes AI freak out in P-space. That would make a lot of sense. That would tie everything together in a neat little bow. So the big one is still alive, although it is losing all of its support, so I guess that's fine. And it is so nice that the astrals are actually really good now. Between the buffs, not only the direct buffs, the buffs to the carrier skills, the improvements to the AI. There's been some serious improvements in just how the AI uses carriers. How do you even beat these? I couldn't get a single one. Yeah, it does seem to be harder to use frigates. Like, normally this kind of this setup where I deploy the, like, first, even in this fleet, they've died quite a bit, and it's only now that I'm kind of figuring out that you've got to deploy them second. You've got to deploy all your bigger ships first, then deploy your frigates in a second wave, and you've kind of got to use a buddy system where they're all, you know, they're escorting each other. That seems to work a lot better. How did they kill the eye with the no losses? Probably with help from the Harbinger. I mean, I also helped, but the Harbinger did seem to be doing a pretty good job distracting the eye with just by, you know, phasing through the beam. And normally the Harbinger would get itself killed, but it didn't because I set the Harbinger to escort one of the frigates. So it couldn't go get too aggressive and get itself killed. It wasn't possible. I think that's why they did so well against it. What are your hopes for the .99 patch? Definitely a continuation of the main story. Hey, why are you farming them? So I can have enough items that I can, well, I don't know, just to build more of the weapons, try them out. Let's go kill some more. Unidentified entity. You don't even exist. Oh, look, there's another one. You can also tank the eye laser with a good enough shield. Yeah. Although the problem with doing that with a Paragon is that it's a 60 deployment point ship that then just has to, like, sit under its fortress shields for a while. So even though it's not dying to the eye, it's still getting effectively disabled, which is not good. I hope you could eventually split your fleet, like leave ships in an asteroid field and deploy only some stealth ships for a mission or raid. Well, you can kind of do that with abandoned stations as is. It's just really inconvenient because any officers you have to reassign later, and also you have to, like, drop off a bunch of crew and cargo so that you can, because you no longer have all those ships to store all that crew and cargo. So you can kind of do that at certain locations. It's just really inconvenient. Are we going to test the new hull mods on stream? Yeah, I guess we should do that. Can you split your fleet with Nixerolin? I don't think so. Yeah, it's safer to just do the middle option. Apparently the bigger option makes the fleet harder, but also you don't get much more reward anyways. Although I guess I should just test that out at some point and see exactly what kind of reward you get. So I'm getting 5 of the weapon item, I think. That's what we got, right? We just got 5. So if it ends up being like 10, then it's like a pretty big difference. But if it's like 6, I don't know if it's worth it to fight the hardest one. So we'll just do that same strategy again. Don't deploy these. Instead, we deploy them in a second wave. We get all of you to escort that. You escort you, you escort you, and you escort you. And if this works a second time, then that's a pretty good sign. Finally caught a stream. Let's go. Well, hello, Mr. Bozo. Good to see ya. Industrial evolution splits fleets. Oh. I did not know industrial evolution could do that. Man, against a normal fleet, I could just take my Afflictor and go snipe the eye, but, you know, with all these guys that have, like, anti-phase technology, that's not realistically an option. Although it does seem like they're a lot more clumped up this time. And that gives me a little, gets me a little scared for the Anubis here. At the very least, if they all get in the way, the eye can't shoot at anything. And these tendrils are getting in the... Oh, wait, hold on. That's me up front. Oops. And, of course... Yep. I fucked up. I did not realize I was flying forward. I was too busy thinking and talking. Whoops. Also, that is kind of annoying, because they do... Like, their counter to phase ships is that they can EMP you, and then you can't repair fast enough, so you just kind of drift forward and then die. And there's literally nothing you can do about it. So yeah, that is very punishing. Huh. Rip Bozo. More or less. Yes. We S-mod ARU on the Afflictors now. Yeah, honestly, might have to. Is EMP enough of a threat to add resistant flux conduits? Yeah, we might have to, well, maybe not resistant flux conduits, but maybe we really might have to add things like an S-mod repair unit. Yeah, you can see this combination is doing a pretty good job at distracting the eye without getting killed. Although the Anubis is going to get itself killed. Maybe I do need to give it elite combat endurance, because this is a problem. Or maybe I need to give it frontal shield conversion. And we did lose an Omen this time. Okay, yeah. This one got sniped by the eye. I think we're going to do this. Although they might actually struggle without me contributing. This might be a little bit harder. Yeah, it's just barely staying out of range. Please kill the big one. If we can do that, it would make life a bit easier. The Anubis was able to retreat. Good, good. Yeah, it's busy shooting at the Harbinger, which is going to sit in phase long enough for it to run out of flux. The problem is now it's dissipating flux, and the Harbinger's maxed out now. Yeah, it's going to start venting. Although I guess the Omen can body block for it. Or the enemy can do it for me. How thoughtful. Okay. Wait, what? The Maw jumped forward and sort of managed to... Its death explosion took out the tendrils. And all it managed to do is overload the Paragon, but because it killed the tendrils as well, they couldn't follow up on that. That's great. Triple kill. I just realized the lack of ults on the battle. Yeah, we're not using it. Yeah, I got nerfed to one of the hotfixes, and I figured I'd better off without it. Pirate ships only versus threat. Well, that would certainly be funny. I wonder if we'll see some sort of cult that worships the Red Abyss demons in the future. Maybe. Shroud was man-made and Afflictor wasn't. Or Shroud was a made man and Afflictor wasn't. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, sure. Uh-oh. Is the Harbinger? No, the Harbinger. I mean, he's got phase anchor. He's gonna fine. See? Retreated. He's fine. Honestly, you guys can retreat at this point. Like, most of the problems have been taken care of. The Harbingus, exactly. Three to 8 replicators next. Do those clouds drop weapons? Well, they drop, like, items that you turn into weapons. So in a roundabout way, yes. Yeah, and as always, the Paragon is just reliable. That's a lot of point defense. Gonna zap the Cobras right out of the air. Yeah, retreated. All the frigates are retreating. That's great. This guy's really maxed out on soft flux, huh? Honestly, it's kind of hard to keep the thing up. The health bar up, because it's so hard to figure out where the body is. And it shoots out projectiles that kind of look like they're frigates or something for a second, but they're not. They're just storms. There she goes. To be honest, I think these fights are not doable without a Paragon. Well, I mean, if you can do it with the Paragon, then you could do it with onslaughts. For sure. Did the demons have an internal monologue? Well, that is a good question. So we got 6 out of that one. Okay, so you can get more. Even out of the medium option. Alright. Let's see. You leveled up. You need target analysis. Yeah. And then we can make missile specialization elite. Alright, so you're now maxed out. Cool. The demons definitely think about the Roman Empire. Yes, that's what their internal monologue is all about. I just sort of wish the factions would interact in a way with the Remnants threat and stuff, Space Ranger style. Well, I'm pretty sure Space Ranger is one of the games that the devs draw on for influence. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did interact with each other more as the game gets fleshed out. Yeah, I guess I'll hold on to that other story point for now. So who still needs... Yeah, all the omens still need one more elite skill. Alright. Let's go looking for more trouble. It does feel like you're presenting the sector with reality-shattering orders and they instantly shrug it off. Well, there's that one guy at the academy, what is his name, Alec? Academician Alec. I think he gets traumatized. Space Ranger stream. Maybe sometime. That is a game that I have not actually played. I see you triangles. You can't fool me. Now that's just a normal light. In fact, I think these are... They're both normal. That's lame. And this one is just clearly running away from me. And we're at the edge of the abyss. Gotta go back. Oh, we're running out of fuel, though. I keep doing that. Yeah, I totally forgot to get more fuel, didn't I? How far can I get? Not very. I guess we'll just head to the gate, and if we need to, we'll do a little distress signal. I looked into the code, and your vast ruin strat is so good, what the hell? Well, what does the code say? I don't even know what the code says. I just tested it a couple of times. And it seems pretty consistent. Console and some fuel. Nah, we're just going to distress signal our way there. Because unlike previous versions of the game, they actually give you enough fuel. Have you shown the cool demon weapons to the lads yet? No, I have not. Although I'm sure they would just find it swell, wouldn't they? Right, inner system. Let's head on over. Did you ever play an old art space RTS called Conquest Frontier Wars? No, I have not. I haven't even heard of that one. Was the old slot nerf that bad? It was pretty significant. It was a pretty chunky nerf. Do I gotta press it again? Come on now. Where's a good Samaritan when you need him? The first month on tech mining adds 6 rolls of the special tech mining table, but it applies the tech mining efficiency twice, which means you get 2.25 times the good stuff. Huh. Yeah, the first month is definitely special. I didn't know it was that special. But there's definitely, like, in my testing, there's a guarantee that you're going to get something good if you max out your efficiency on the first month. And then, like, the second month onwards, it's pretty underwhelming. And we've got plenty of supplies, so we can definitely wait it out. Just gotta get that fuel. What was nerfed? The Onslaught Mark 1. It's not a guarantee, but you've got about a 95% chance to at least get a special item or alpha core. Yeah, that sounds about right. Just use console commands. Well, I would actually have to shut down the game and then launch it again with the mod, because I don't have it enabled right now. But it's taking surprisingly long time. Did they show up at a different jump point? Because they're supposed to show up at this... Nope, there they are. I was going to say, did they show up at a different one? Is there a bug? There we go. And they actually give you a reasonable amount of fuel. Gonna head off and play some Project Zomboid. Good luck with the demons. Well, good luck with the zombies. Did you check out new weapons from the demons and swarm bots? Not a lot of them. Only some of them. With your strat, it's like an average of 13.5 rolls on the table, which is like 15% calling items, 25% AI cores. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't really know how the underlying rolls worked, but there's very clearly the game is biased in favor of that first month of tech mining. Especially, and then if you have like Vast Ruins, which are going to give you the best stuff, you throw in story points in an alpha core to maximize efficiency, it pretty much always seems to spit out something good. What's the Vast Ruins strat? Is when you see Vast Ruins, what you do is you set up some tech mining, and what you need to do is immediately story point it and put it in an alpha core, so that on the first month you get as much stuff as possible. It's not really complicated. But it does seem like the game just massively favors that first month, and if you max out your stat bonuses to the rolls that you get, then you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least one good thing, if not a bunch of good things. Maybe buy a second tanker. That's not a bad idea. Do I have... Yeah, I already got auxiliary tanks. I could start S-modding efficiency overhaul. Yeah, I guess I should just get a second tanker. Where do you even... Yeah, it just shows up. It's like, you can buy this from literally anyone. Great. I guess I'll just visit everyone until I can get another Prometheus. I get so frustrated not being able to find calling items I want that I've made a mod that creates a special event where at the end you are guaranteed to get a specific colony item. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people who would want to use that mod. Syndra guaranteed Prometheus. Yeah, I guess I can head over there if I have to. I guess I don't have to. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll do the solar shielding first. And that used up my last story point. That's fine. Seems good to me. Wait, why is it giving... No, that's not what I want. So it's prioritizing this, even... Okay, that's different from how it used to work. It's prioritizing the S mod instead of the other stuff. Huh. Well, whatever. Keep that in mind for the future. Alright, let's head off to the Abyss. In my experience, it feels like the first month artifacts drop on extensive ruins are guaranteed even without alpha cores. In my experience, I've tried that and I just don't get anything. Do you need armor on a logistics ship? Not really. But I've got plenty of ordnance points, and you can only get... You have a limit to how many logistics hull mods you can take, so might as well. Alright, back to horrors beyond human comprehension. My favorite Wednesday activity, alongside such other exciting things like jogging. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to deal with that. Not right now, though. Tritachyon can be put in their place in a little bit. Why S-mod solar shielding? Just demod logistics. What do you mean demod logistics? Do you mean just stack demods on them? Did you try this strategy? Well, no, I haven't. But we can certainly do that in the simulator. Or you do that, you escort that, you escort that, and you escort you. Wow, this is going to work really well, I'm sure. Generate, deploy. Heck, why don't we replicate it with the frigates? There. We have created the perfect formation. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this donut loop. What are they going to do now? Nobody knows. It's one of those questions science just can't answer. See, look at this. They're going backwards. All of them are going backwards. They're just going to keep floating backwards till they get to the bottom of the map. I think that's what's going to happen here. These guys seem to actually move around a little bit, which is interesting. They're just floating there. Menacingly. Exactly. So are you happy now? You guys happy with this? You like this? Are there infinite demons? Yes. Just like real life. It's perfect. Yeah, I'm sure you guys love that. Well, the person who left that comment suggesting this, here you go. I hope it's everything you dreamed of and more. Taking notes for future plays. Oh yeah, I'm sure you're gonna... Yeah, that's gonna go really well for you, isn't it? How's the Anubis treating you? It's been good. It's performed well. So it feels about right for its cost. It's in the right ballpark, at least. And brings a nice fighter bay. It's got a decent platform for some resonators up here. The paladins feel good. That fleet strike cured my depression and saved my marriage. Well, that's good. You know, if we can achieve some good in this world, then that's a good thing. How about the benzene ring strat? Capitals same as before, but each omen escorting each capital like spokes of a wheel. I feel like that's going to result in the omens getting crushed between two capital ships. Which has happened. I have had that problem. Very rarely. Can you try Giga Cannon, Anubis? It's not a bad idea. I mean, I could try that, yeah. I'm just going to have to get my hands on a Giga Cannon first. It's called the benzene ring strap because it's carcinogenic. Ah, that's a fancy way of saying it causes cancer. Come on, give me a threat. Give me a demon. Give me a something. Maybe interdictor light. Well, the problem with interdicting the light is it just takes longer to fire off. The sensor burst you fire off immediately. The interdiction takes a few seconds. And while you're firing off, while you're charging up the interdiction, your fleet slows down. So even though the interdiction is supposed to give you a speed boost, it ends up being completely worthless because you have to slow down a bunch to actually do it. Alright, let's try not to get ourselves immediately killed this time. I think that's suboptimal. What do you guys think? So you escort you escort you, and you escort you. Beautiful. Two paladins plus 1 Giga cannon. Yeah, that does seem like it's probably viable. Although I'm not sure it's worth it over the auto lance. We'll have to wait and see. What does it take to make the Giga Cannon work? Well, it definitely got a massive buff. People say that, like, oh, that 500 extra damage isn't a lot, but it's like 500 extra damage is not only extra DPS and extra hit strength, but they didn't increase the flux cost to compensate, so it's also extra efficiency. So pretty significant buff. I am going to sit safely behind the big ships until it is my time to strike. Maybe I can help out over here. Whoa, that's an aggressive maneuver. Probably a big mistake, too. Get him. Where's the... oh, the eye is up here. It looks like it's already missing all of this armor. Although I'm not sure how. I guess it took damage at some point. Maybe it took some damage from, like, the wasps or something. I wonder when it's going to shoot. Because it can't. There. It's like, it can shoot. It's just choosing not to. I'm not sure what triggers the attack mode on. So yeah, if you've got an eye that's kind of not... Like, the tendrils can stop you with their, you know, EMP weapons that hit you in phase. But if they're not getting in the way, then you can just kind of snipe the eye like that. In an afflictor. Which feels pretty good. Alright, well... The Harbinger's really not doing a whole lot. It's kind of unfortunate. Also, this guy seems to be in a lot of trouble, which is different. Why is he in so much trouble? What is happening? Oh, I know what's happening. The Paragon's ignoring the Maw, even though that's kind of what it's here for. It's like, yes, if you ignore the Maw and let the Astral handle it, there's going to be problems. I don't know why I have to explain that. Like, buddy, what did you think was going to happen? Why are you letting this big expensive ship get killed? This is on you. All of those lives lost is on you. I hope you never sleep it soundly ever again in the rest of your life. You are responsible for, like, hundreds of deaths right now because of your neglect of your duties. What a complete dumbass. He won't be invited to the Zero Death Run, that's for sure. the very least, you can 1v1 the tendrils. So that's nice. Of course, fortunately, second shot's not enough to kill it by itself. Really? That didn't hit? Or did it hit, and it just didn't do enough damage to finish it off? I guess the answer is yes. Oh, it gets away on a sliver of health, because of course it does. Yeah, try and harass me back here. I'm behind an astral. You might be able to shoot through phase, but you can't shoot through an astral. Gotcha. At least I could finish that guy off. And it's another one down. Alright. Putting in work this time. So this time it's the Astral and the Paragon that messed up instead of me. But we're still making it work. Oof. Slowly gonna... Oh, and of course it jumps backwards. I'm not even sure I hit. I'm also not sure that I missed. It has so much health, it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. Is the old Sunder D still in the game with 3 mediums? No, the D-mod variants... Well, I think they're probably still in the code, but they're not something you can access. Another one down. Okay. Yeah. What? Wait. So apparently the Maelstrom just has insane range. Even with its point defense weapons. Alright. Guess we'll have to keep that in mind for the future. And I got all the way to the end, too. Oh, there's a ship under there. So hard to tell because all the special effects are blocking it out. Are threat weapons effective against Shroud? I mean, they probably, yeah. You can probably fit them into builds against each other, for sure. There's enough options, and there's got to be at least one that's good. Have you looked real close at the shrouded sprites? They're toothy space amoebias and Lovecraftian clusters of jaws and tentacles. I mean, I haven't looked too closely, but that sounds about right. So I got 9. It seems like I'm getting more every time, even though I'm picking the same option. Of course, crew under strength now. Lovely. Yeah, I guess instead of solar shielding, I'm going to have to go with a repair unit. How awkward. But with all of these effects, like both Threat and Shroud can EMP your phase frigate, so... Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. Oh, cool. More demons. Just what was on the menu. Does that not do it? No, we're still under strength, huh? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that bad. I guess we'll be fine. Nobody leveled up. That's the real crime here. Gotta wait for repairs. 18 days. Just gonna have to sit 18 days next to this pink light. They say if you stare into the abyss long enough, something stare back, but let's test that out, alright? Alright, boys, stare into the pink light. And T-pose for good measure. Should have defended the astral better. Well, this is the first time that it's really gotten... Or at least the last couple of battles, it didn't get, like, rushed down like that, so... Didn't think of it. But we'll see. Shroud weapons are really expensive, but pretty generalist. Yeah, some of them do have... some of them are really specialized. And some of them are more generalist. But in general, yeah, they all are really expensive. Is that pink? I'm colorblind. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, some of them are... The safe ones are not are just pure white light, and the dangerous ones are slightly pinkish. If you can't tell, don't worry. That's lore accurate, because apparently, I guess people in this universe can't tell the difference. But you, John Starsector, could theoretically tell the difference. As long as you're not the colorblind variety. It's not quite... We'll be fine without it. For sure. I'm sure this will be a non-issue. The Harbinger seems to be not doing a whole lot every single time, which is unfortunate. I guess we'll throw an Omen in. Oh, you know what? I forgot to deploy you guys last, didn't I? Oops. Let's back it up a little bit. Yeah, the Volatile Particle Driver does feel pretty good here, but I'm not sure the Reality Disruptor does anything against these guys. Kind of hard to tell. Man. Yeah, I think the repair unit was a good call, because my blasters got disabled, but they're back online pretty quick. Well, you're just asking for it, buddy. You're just asking for a beat down. Get him, boys. So maybe if I put you guys like that and say, engage. Hopefully that works. I think you could use a little bit of help over here. Man, that thing has some range. Yeah, of course it's not quite enough. Seriously, that Rift Lightning. If I use a Rift Lightning, it doesn't get that kind of range. But the Maelstrom... Because, yeah, most people kind of drool over... Like, they make a big deal out of the Maw, because it's the big one, and the Eye, because it's got the laser. But the Maelstroms with their long-range Rift Lightning could be a real issue as well. Can I turn around? There we go. Alright, go ahead and unphase and shoot him with your phase lance. Or do literally nothing instead. You can do that too. Got him. Yeah, it looks like it's going a bit worse without that second astral. But I'm sure it'll work out just fine. Maybe if we clean up these guys over here. Oh, look at that. You can see the amoeba at the center of it all. When it does its little jump. I would rather not die right now. Thank you very much. It's looking a little rough. Okay, let's see if I can get in there. Oh no, I just die immediately to Rift Lightning, of course. My bad. Yeah, this one does not seem to be going so well. It's a good thing there was a recent... Like, this one's going way worse. Are they getting harder the more that you fight them? Like, yeah, I didn't deploy the second astral, but even the second fight was harder. And I'm getting more rewards steadily as I fight more of them, so... I'm not sure about that. They might get harder the more of them you fight. What do you guys think? Let's see, is it an autosave? Yeah. Should probably do a manual save. Yes, James, it is Jover. Correct. Let's see, yeah, I did that in... Yeah, we just recovered that guy, okay. You fought the medium-sized... I've been Yes, that's what I've been doing every single time. I've been fighting the medium-sized fleet every single time. And each time I seem to be getting more and more rewards. I don't know if that's just RNG or if they're getting harder every time. Yeah, John Starsector casually goes back in time. Crew get deja vu. Little glitch in the Matrix. Nothing to see here. What fit the Lovecraftian theme that they get harder? I mean, you say that, but that's already a mechanic for the remnants, right? The more of them you kill, the bigger their fleets get bigger. Their fleets get bigger the more of them you kill. So it wouldn't be too crazy for them to apply a similar mechanic to these guys. Although, that would kind of undermine the point of choosing the difficulty. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, just kill that, I guess. Kill the eye. Goodbye. The remnant get harder the more of them you kill. I believe that mechanic might only apply to high danger systems. And it only applies to the specific system that you're killing them in. So if you kill them a bunch in one system, it doesn't apply to the rest of the Remnant. But in that specific system, they're going to spawn harder and harder fleets. Or rather, bigger and bigger fleets, really. Is an onslaught or any paragon necessary in fighting the demons? Well, no, there's no way it's necessary. It's definitely like the easy option, because it's pretty like getting a battleship as your front line is a pretty straightforward concept that I think most people can pull off pretty easily. But I really doubt that it's necessary. You could absolutely do this with like a line of cruisers. I think hard mode would be trying to do like frigates and destroyers. Well, maybe not even destroyers, because Medusas would probably do really well. What with their phase skimmers and all that. It's really frigates that make this a bit more challenging. Okay, so you are just not doing anything. Alright. Current playthrough got an onslaught and 2 paragons early into exploration. Yeah, sometimes that just happens. And sometimes you can't take them because it's too financially crippling and there's not enough of a payoff. Don't think Grendels would be good because some of the Shroud weapons can hit phase. Well, their main gimmick is that they EMP you in phase. And the Grendel does have the hull mod that gives it like 50% damage reduction to weapons and 50% EMP resistance. What is it called again? I forget what the hull mod is called, but it has that. And it's got decent armor, so they're not going to do serious damage to it with just the energy damage. So I think Grendels would probably be fine. Distributed fire control, that's the one. Thank you, Lando. Yeah, if you do the easy one, you only get 2 of these. Man, I'm fighting so many abyssal lights, but not any of the gravity wells. I could have swore there was more gravity wells before. Oh, I guess having reduced crew probably also affects it. Is shoulder shielding ever useful? Yes. That's the short answer. Yes. I mean, let's just look at it, right? It's 15 ordnance points for 10% reduced energy damage, which is decent in combat, but then on top of that it has logistical benefits. Like I can fight inside a black hole and be perfectly fine. All the energy weapon damage reduction, the 10% reduced energy damage is probably less useful against the new enemies, but it's certainly pretty useful against remnants. I always thought it was too situational because I avoid being in a corona either way. Well, that's the cool thing. It applies to other stuff like hyperspace storms. So you don't have to travel slow through them. You can just drive right through them and use them as a speed boost. Where would you use the red lightning weapon? I'm not sure. It seems pretty good, but it's also just really expensive. So it's kind of hard to say. Wait, do I not have the gate here? Where did I put it? Or the wormhole. No, it is here. Okay. I came to the right place. Bro, I had it off for 2 seconds as I exited the gate. Your people will pay for this. I never forget a grudge. Suspicious cargo found? What cargo? Did they take what did they... They didn't take anything. So, I guess they must have found some of this crap, but then the game doesn't let them take it, I guess? I'm a bit confused. What's my relationship with the hegemony? Well, it's going to get worse if you guys keep up that attitude. Yeah, because like the only text it said, it didn't say that they took any items, for sure. It just said that they damaged my ships. Even though it said suspicious cargo found. But then they didn't do anything about it. Which is weird. Okay, hold on. Let me just get 3,000. There we go. Or, might as well max it out, I guess. Yep, they didn't like the core. Well, it didn't say anything about the corals. It just said suspicious cargo. And it said suspicious cargo found. It can't just be a forceful inspection if it says suspicious cargo found, because they did the inspection, they found something, but then they didn't take the item and instead just damaged the ship. So, I'm not exactly... So, my theory is that the reason that they didn't take the suspicious cargo or destroy it is because it must have been some of this stuff. Show the Ludex your red gear. Well, why don't you do that yourself? I guess I will. I probably have to do that at some point, just because seeing the Ludex freak out over demonic equipment is probably going to be funny. But I'm too busy farming, so it'll have to wait. Let's see. Isn't there... Do I not have enough? Isn't there like a really big one? That's like a missile? If there was suspicious cargo, they would take it away. The combat readiness lost is from the forceful inspection when no contraband is found. Yes, normally. But the game specifically said, suspicious cargo found. You can go back in the stream. That's the text that popped up. It specifically said, suspicious cargo found, which means that they did find something, and then they didn't take it. Missile is unobtainable. Oh, really? Okay, that would explain that then. They saw the stuff, got mad, tipped over the trash bin, and left. Yeah, that's basically what happened. It says suspicious cargo found when they do that, I thought. No, because you can get the... They can damage your ships even if you have, like, no illegal cargo. You can still get them to damage your ships. It's a completely separate event. They found stuff you bought without tariff. They can't do that. That's not a thing they can do. I mean, I should probably spam a bunch of these and just see how they go. I mean, they're so expensive. I can't even, like, afford to fit them on anything unless I take off some stuff. But I do want to try them at the least. I'll give them a chance. Yeah, I guess I'll just take off some of these. Just make sure we've got that. Alright. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Yeah, we're just gonna have to do that, I guess. This is what we're doing now. Let's see how they feel. Interesting. So the manual control, it just kind of shoots wherever at a fixed distance. So like manually controlling these is not going to do much for you. Although, I guess if the range reaches out this far, then it should be able to shoot that far for point defense purposes, right? Let's see how it goes. Although I doubt they're going to have much of an opportunity to use them in this setup, but hopefully we'll see them fire it a little bit. Are you planning to stay on 2 Cobras? I probably want to switch one of them out, at least. It's just a matter of the ordnance points cost being a bit expensive. And that's even with the Trident buff. Could be that the suspicious cargo found prompt was for large amounts of legal black market commodities. There's no such thing as legal black market commodities. It's either legal or illegal. Right, the AI, as far as I know, the AI does not track if you bought it on the black market or not. It's just if your suspicion level is high enough, then they'll get mad, and they don't find anything, they get mad at you and damage your ship. Although, honestly, I should probably just, like, look into... Like, ask someone who's actually looked at the code and then make, like, a video about it. It's probably a good idea. I think he means when you buy non-illegal things. But I didn't do that. The reason they stopped me is because my transponder was off when I got through the gate. So that wouldn't make any sense. If you buy stuff that's normally legal, but they're not tracking, that's the thing. They're not... When you buy stuff off the black market that's illegal, and then they inspect you, they can't take it. That's right. But the reason they're inspecting you is not because they're tracking specifically that you bought it off the black market. The reason they're tracking you is because your suspicion level is high. They can't distinguish between stuff you bought off the black market versus stuff you didn't buy off the black market. Yes, Kobos are fun to watch. Make a Giga Anubis. I guess so. But I need to get a... You don't understand. I don't have a Giga Cannon. Because I haven't fought the Lion's Guard yet. Which will probably happen. Eventually, maybe. I guess I could go hunt them down myself, but it's just like... kind of annoying, I guess. I guess I've got to start dealing with Tritachyon, huh? What is it? You want to raid them, right? You don't want to bomb them. Which means I gotta get some Marines. Which is kind of an... Yes, like, okay, I'm gonna stop talking about the black market mechanics. I know how the black market mechanics work. I'm saying that the what just happened specifically does not fit what they normally do. If they say suspicious cargo found, if there's a big piece of yellow text that pops up and says suspicious cargo found, normally what happens is they destroy the cargo. And in this case, they didn't, and instead defaulted to the behavior they have when they don't find suspicious cargo. And I'm pointing out that that's weird. And I'm getting a lot of explanations in chat that don't actually seem to register what I'm talking about. I think Inimical Emanation is really good on the Omen because the repair speed debuffs... Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because it already does... Like, yeah, like stacking up the extra EMP is not super useful, but the addition of the debuff does work really well. I could try that. Although, then I'd have to give up the mini pulsar because inimical emanation is 10 ordnance points for a small energy, so it's pretty expensive. It was probably a bug. It might be. I'm thinking it's like either it's a bug or there's something going on where this is counted as suspicious cargo, but they're also coded so they can't take it. You know, I'm just kind of theory crafting here, you know? Got some ideas. Okay. We'll be back in a second. And we're back. I do think teleport away from hull damage mod will be insanely good. Well, it's not quite teleporting, but yeah, it is pretty fast. It's like all of my ships are already pretty starved for ordnance points. It's one of the annoying things. It's like they add in a bunch of cool new weapons and hull mods, but they're all really expensive. And all of my builds are already starved for ordnance points because the Omega weapons are really expensive. Where am I supposed to fit them? You know what would be funny is putting the Shrouded Mantle on like a phase ship and watching it jump in phase. Although, oh yeah, you can't do that on phase ships. Okay, that's right. It's when you have high suspicion level in the black market in system, they find nothing but damage your ship. Yeah, that's how it works. And what I'm saying is, when that happens, it doesn't tell you suspicious cargo found. And if you go back at the stream, it said suspicious cargo found. Yeah, why? That's a good question, Disco Caddy. Why are people arguing about it? I should make a video. I guess I should make a video about how black market mechanics work. Well, that seems pretty straightforward. It also said no overt contraband. Did it? Don't fall for the bait. What if I want to fall for the bait? Have you considered that? Have you considered how I feel? The black market scan situation is crazy. Drama video. Yeah, imagine that. What do you guys think? Would it get 10 more billion views? Yeah, don't fall for the bait. Well, stop making bait that tastes so damn good. That's what the fish have been saying for years. When you already do tier list, yeah. Just cancel the hedge. Cancel their life. Yeah, just cancel their subscription to life. Chico Maz talk? More like Chico was talk. Although I've got to deal with Tritachyon first, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. %100% bonus XP. I mean, it would only add 3, so maybe not worth it. We can add auxiliary fuel tanks now. Although it's kind of overkill. Oh, I should have done that. There we go. Excellent. Did none of you others level up? I guess not. So it's just you. Yeah, it's just the Harbinger and the 2 Astrals that need to level up. So I guess I'll move you down like this. Everybody else is already leveled. Okay. Now I've got to formulate a plan to deal with Tritachyon because they're going to be annoying. And that plan is going to involve How many Marines have I got? 96? No salvage rigs? Why would I need salvage rigs? So that I can salvage more supplies that I can already afford? And already have enough storage space to carry a million, like an insane amount of it? It's like, why would, at this stage of the game, what use would I have for a salvage rig? To rig your salvage more. That's true. I didn't think of that. I mean, if I'm not rigging my salvage... Man, this ship really... I can't formulate the joke. Never mind. What would it be? The ship really... rig on my salvage until I supplies? No. Yeah, no, I can't quite think of it. This ship really salvaged my rig. Chickamaustox can sell Marines, right? Rig my balls. True. Let's go raid Trictachyon. It's really in this year. Salvage rigs let you fight pirates endlessly. That sounds like purgatory. I'd rather play a video game. I probably want to raid one of their backwaters, like Port Say. Combat is the video game, but there has to be a purpose for the combat. Oversensitive shitposter. And it's so bizarre that they pick this specific time to come upstairs. And this is only a problem recently. I'm gonna have a talk later. Is that a child I hear in the background? No, those are the voices in your head. Yes, I do have multiple child hostages. That's accurate. Can I launch a raid? I can. In fact, pretty easily. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be moderate regardless. Oh, I've been positively identified, of course. My mistake. Let me just, like, go into an asteroid field, and I'm gonna... Here's what you do. You go dark, you put on a... You paint a mustache on the fronts of your ships, you paint on a big pair of glasses, and then you show up a week later and nobody's gonna recognize you. It's that simple. Yeah, put on the glasses, fake nose combo. Exactly. You get chat rating with transponder on. You know what? Maybe I should, because it doesn't really matter at this point if they hate me. Nah, we're gonna disrupt industry. There we go. Yeah, see, look, they don't know who I... They're like literally, you fly into an asteroid field, come back like a couple days later with the exact same fleet, and they're like, damn, who are these guys? Never seen them before in my life. Yeah, plus 37, plus 38. Pretty sure raiding is like the maximum efficiency, maximum speed for making progress on this crap. Attacking and commerce rating. Yeah, we're gonna put you guys out of business. You wanna compete with me? Try Tachyon? More like try Fraudion. I think I tried tactical bombardment last time and it didn't go super well. Raiding to disrupt their industry seems to work a lot better. Try Suckion. Yeah, exactly. But considering their only resource is this... Wait, is it stuck on heavy? I thought is there no way to get it down to medium? Wait, hold on. Can I buy... Wait, can I buy Marines? I can. I can hire Marines and then launch them against the station. Or against the planet that I just got them from. Nice. I don't think disrupting the commerce matters because the mining's the only resource output. So the commerce, if you disrupt the mining, then the commerce isn't adding much. I guess we're just going to do that. Plus 40, look at that. Big numbers. Try to interdict me. Come on. They get their rate effectiveness boosted too. Can I actually pull this off in their capitals? Probably not. Might be able to do it at Skathi. Give it a shot. Spaceport matters most since without it they can't ship goods. Yeah, that's probably the most devastating approach, is to hit the spaceport, but it also had the highest... The spaceport also had the highest casualty rate, so I wanted to avoid that. It's also the shortest disruption time per unit. Let's just go for maximum on the mining. So if I do that for the spaceport, we're going to end up at heavy instead of moderate. It's 150 days for the mining. That's pretty big. At that point, you might as well decommission the mining and build a new one. That'll get it back up and running faster. Actually getting a pretty decent amount of XP from this too. And reducing the stability. Yeah, that right there has already done half of our progress. It's just going around these systems and launching these raids. And if we just kind of sit around a bit. Can we do the raid now? Can we just go raid it again? I mean, it's not as effective, but we can. Yeah, raid cooldown is like 1 day. You can spam the hell out of it. It does seem like raiding repeatedly loses some of its effectiveness, but League membership is great. That's the first time I've heard that. Most people complain about League. Alright, let's see how much we get. Lost 10 Marines. No progress. Huh. Is it because I'm disrupting the same industry? You won't get to... Ah, yeah, okay. If you raid a building you've already disrupted, then you don't get extra points. Gotcha. Okay. We're learning, we're learning. So, I only disrupted the one industry. Maybe if I go do the spaceport now. Because, yeah, this one's already disrupted. Now if I do commerce instead. Yes, I do get more points. You just gotta do it correctly. And then we wait like 1 day. Yeah, we'll tag that as important. Now I'm trying to speedrun the Tritachyon event. Well, hold on. Let's try and buy some more Marines first. Well, no, we can't do that. Okay. Fair enough. There's still one that's been left alone. Let's disrupt it. It's another plus 40. 85 Marines? I can live with that. Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I am willing to make. 235, not bad. You can farm up a few more points from Scathy. So it does look like the maximum you can get from disrupting a single industry is plus 40. And at the same time, but if you, let's say that you raid it and you only get like 5 points out of it, and then you try to raid it again, you get nothing because you've already disrupted it. So the best thing to do, if you want to do this efficiently, is to try and raid one industry at a time and get 40 points every single time. So yeah, if I optimized this a bit better, I would be done by now. But alas. Look at that patrol. He thinks he's gonna catch me and chastise me for having my transponder off. Nope. Not again. Yeah, this is the optimal way to finish this crew, this whole thing. Is there any that I haven't? No, but if I wait 12 days, then I can disrupt this one again. Alright. And that should do it. So I'm just going to hang out in this asteroid field and wait a few weeks, like a week or something. 12 days until departure. Yeah, we can... It's going to take 50 days to get there, so... Yeah, we can easily finish this up before we even deal with the mercenary attack. Pretty cool, huh? Quick, conquer something and give it to Tritech so you can raid it. Now, this isn't Nexerolin. Murdering them gets points too. That's true, but can I do enough to get the rest of the points in 12 days? Absolutely not, because murdering trade fleets is way... From what I remember, it gives you way less points than what you get for destroying industries. The Independent has a crisis. Well, no, this isn't the... This is part of the Tritachyon crisis. They've hired independent, quote-unquote, mercenaries. Murdering the trade fleets is fun, though. I mean, it can be, but we don't have time for fun right now. We've got bigger fish to fry. Let me disrupt you. And there we go. We've finished. Now we just gotta go talk to our old friend, and we are good. We're down to we're still at welcoming because our relationship was so high beforehand. Let's see, contacts. You. Money fish to fry, exactly. Ooh, research station, you say? Where is it? Heart of the system. Okay. Research station. Heart of system. Easy. I mean, that kind of feels... I don't know. They're probably going to have to change a little bit about how these missions work, because this feels a little too easy. Like, they just spoil. By the way, there's a research station out here. Even if you don't want to do the mission right now, you can just... The best thing to do is to make a map marker and just note that down. I guess, strictly speaking, it's not really that different. Confirm the deal. I get plus 24%, they get plus 11%. Yeah, see? Perfectly balanced. Exactly the way things should be. Wait, why does this automatically get tagged as important, but none of the other events do? And you can end the partnership. I think I'll keep my 24%. That's so odd that that gets tagged as important and nothing else does. Well, that is taken care of. Wait. No way. Did the mercenaries get called off? I'm pretty sure it says right in the description that even if you resolve the matter with Tritachyon, the mercenaries will still come for you. I thought that was like part of the mechanics, is that they specifically still come for you even if you resolve things with Tritachyon. But I guess because we did this before they even launched... I'm pretty sure those are the mercenaries sent to assassinate you. Oh yeah, I guess that would be it, huh? But, I mean, I should have gotten those mercenaries, right? Because those mercenaries get launched when you pass the 50% mark on the progress bar. Or at least the Tritachyon specific progress bar, which I did because I finished that thing. So that should have happened, right? It didn't say that they... But at no point did it say that they launched. Like, I didn't, like... It never said that the assassins launched, though. How strange. Well, anyways. If there are any assassins following me, they're just going to have to follow me into the abyss. And then they're going to run out of supplies, and I'm going to laugh at them. Actually, that would be funny if the assassins could actually follow you into the abyss and then just run out of supplies. That would be a pretty convenient way of dealing them. Well, we've just solved our political issues. It's time to go back to what John Starsector is really passionate about. Killing demons. Imagine being a bounty hunter, following your target into the abyss and finding shrouds. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know if AI fleets can actually run out of supplies. I'm just saying, like, lore, to be lore accurate, not gameplay accurate, lore accurate here. If they followed you into the abyss, then they would have to run out of supplies. What's the lore on the demons? Not a whole lot. There is some stuff in the codex, though. It's mostly quotes from the Book of Lut, though. So it's more an implication than directly stating what they are. Come here, triangles. Ah, this one I don't even need to transverse jump. Cool. Oh, look, there's a black hole. I wonder if it'll still be there when I leave. Oh, it's part of the same system, too. Okay. Definitely saw something over here. Yep, there they are. It's a surprisingly decent number of planets here for one of these systems. Third strike. The more ridiculous thing is in this system with 3 planets. Yeah, because I guess, like, normally they get, like, 1 ice giant or something, but in this case, the ice giant actually spawned with moons. And one of them's even volcanic, so having a hot planet in one of these systems has got to be really rare. It's time to do our thing and just sort of grind away at the enemy fleet. Slowly but surely. Like the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady, wins the race. Even though it's not a race, it's a war. Come on. Really? That didn't finish it off? You sure? Well, what about if I hit it with one of these? There we go. Let's try and not take friendly... Wait. Can Stinger class cause friendly fire? Probably not, because they're technically a fighter-launched weapon. Really? Of course the Harbinger does... The first thing it does is it goes and dies. I mean, Harbinger can be good against the Remnant, but I'm starting to think it's just terrible against Shrouded Dwellers and Threat. to the point that I'd rather replace it with anything else. Or maybe I should pilot the Harbinger myself and and then give a AI control to an Afflictor, because that would actually work. That's something that the AI can actually do. Yeah, it's spamming EMP at me. Good thing I've got my repair unit, so that's no longer an issue. Get punked, Overseer. Well, look at all the... That's a lot for an Overseer unit. I feel like that's too much. You did not just phase skimmer through my antimatter blasters. Iframes? Really? What is this, Dark Souls? Am I the Dark Souls boss and you're the John Dark Soul? Nah, you're dead. You're not John Dark Soul. Alright, you finish him off. Thank you. Well, you've got to aim if you're going to finish it off. You can't just wildly swing them around like a lightsaber. That's not how phase lances work. Now look at that. Beautiful combination. Sure, capture that. Why not? Oh, the Atropos missed its target, but instead slammed into his shield, and the AoE was big enough to hit its original target. That's just poetry. Alright, at least the swarms going to recover the combat readiness are getting down by, like, the Wasps and the Terminator drones. Esports ready player here. You better believe it. Oh, look at all these Reapers. Look at all of this garbage. Kablooey. I didn't even have to shoot. Yeah, so we did lose the Harbinger and one of the Omens got sniped, but other than that, we're doing really well here. Alright, this time I'm going to shoot. Finish him. And look at all this. See, 100% still. That one's at 88%, so they're not losing a whole lot right now. Man, look at all of them popping out. So many. At least the Anubis is trying to shoot them down. Gotcha. Phase disruptor, please. There's another Omen disabled. Okay, it looks like this guy might be causing some issues. What's your build? Void Blaster. You know, Void Blaster might end up being good against frigates. Well, I guess it's also paired with a ton of light mass drivers, huh? That would do it. Especially as it's maxed out on Flux, but it did overload to the Mini Pulsar, which is perfect for me. Zoinks. Man, Zoink Scoop, that sure is a dead robot. And then look, you can see all this stuff coming out of it. That's really cool. And then you can kill it, and it doesn't restore combat readiness. Okay. I like that. See if I can shoot a bunch of these down. It lived? Come on now. It's a good thing I have that repair unit. Yeah, there we are. That's some teamwork. Yeah, I think the repair unit... So if you're planning to pilot one of these things against threat or shroud, for both cases, an automated repair unit's a really good idea. Because both of them are going to EMP your phase ship. Okay, that was not aiming at all. Well, he's fine. He still got it. Yeah, I was really just giving the threat ship a handicap, because, I mean, the Omens just have it too easy, really. What's your wing configuration in the Astrals? Currently broadsword, longbow, double cobra, double trident. Revenge for that Reaper, yeah. Let's just, yeah, it's definitely the same guy, for sure. It does look like the other Omens died over here. These assault units are doing a real number on my Omens. Well, okay, so I unphase and I click and I can't shoot, and then I click again, and this time I can shoot, but I accidentally die in the explosion. That is not what I was planning to do. At this point, there's just the one Omen left, which is really not good. Although there's also only one Fabricator left, which is considerably better. You need to go do this instead of floating around doing nothing. That'd be great, thanks. The Wasps are even helping. Finish him. Go on now. There we go. Get that thing out of the way. Okay, there's no way we're gonna struggle here, right? Like, surely you can just... Why is the Astral up front? No, absolutely not. Of course, this tends to come at a risk if you try to force the Paragon to get through, but it does tend to work. There's kind of no middle ground, though. The Paragon either seems to back off a bit too much, and then as soon as you tell it to kill, it just goes way too far forward. Like, you don't need to get that close. Please don't tell me that we need to redo this fight, because that doesn't feel right. That feels completely ridiculous. This is starting to get ridiculous. I mean, he is running out of combat readiness, and it is running out of health. I guess we just gotta wait this one out. After we lost a bunch of our Omens and ourselves. We had a little accident. Well, okay, the Paragon did get a chance to vent, and now the Fabricator's getting a little cocky, so... Yeah, if the Fabricator moves this far forward and all the fleet's behind it, and the Paragon is at 0 flux, then I think that's a good opportunity. Let's go for it. Okay, you're just asking for trouble if you're all the way up there. See, this is the problem, though. It's using the abyssal glare on this thing instead of the target. And this is one of the annoying things about the AI. It's like, I've specifically ordered you to kill this thing, and you are pointing at it, but you're using your turreted weapons on something completely unrelated. Like, no, use your abyssal glares to finish this guy off. He's at high flux. Now is the perfect time to finish him off. And you're using your finisher weapons on guys that have 0 flux built up. That's the opposite of what you should be doing with them. Just finish him. He's so close. There you go. You did it. And of course you take a bunch of damage in the process, but it is what it is. Oh, but of course the Astral's dying. Paragon's in a bunch of trouble now. You might have to redo this one. Maybe. We'll see. And the Astral dying is kind of the big issue here. The Paragon's probably fine. You know, I think the Astrals are dying a lot more after I took out those capacitors so I could fit the special demon weapons on the front. Which kind of comes back to what I said about them being really expensive and hard to find a place for them. But yeah, they would probably be dying a lot less if I didn't do that. Oh, both of them tied. Excellent. We're doing great. I'm fine. How are you? Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, more or less. You know, assume that, although I don't want to be too preemptive on the victory part. Those Hive guys are really giving us a run for our money at this point. Don't have enough point defense to really take care of it. Huh. Why do these even exist? Oh, I guess they can still go to other ships besides the Fabricator, right? I was gonna say, why do they even exist after the Fabricator's already gone? Man, those are coming in from far out of the field. I wonder if the Paragon can still win this. It'd be pretty impressive. But yeah, I've got to change that Astral build back. This is like clearly not a good idea. Are there even spare crew left? Probably. No, absolutely not. They all died. They're dead. They're gone. Oh, and of course, we're running out of peak performance. So... yeah, I think we're just going to have to call it quits on this one, because the Anubis is running out, and the Paragon without the Anubis is not going to be able to do it. Okay, so this build is absolute garbage. Gotcha. Oh god, these things are expensive too in terms, not just in terms of ordnance points, but flux too. Damn. Well, I guess after we lose all of our crew, if one cooler guy is sending 50 people in to replace them. Thank you, one cooler guy. I could really use the crew right now. Unfortunately, we don't have any talons to put you in, but we do have broadswords. No, I'm not going to do flash bombers, although they are very cool. Gonna need to grab a star. We'll be fine. Look, it really is just that in order to use these stupid inimical emanations, which aren't really doing anything for me, I had to drop all my capacitors, and it just doesn't have enough shield capacity to actually survive more than 2 seconds. Now it should be fine. This should do a lot better. The best new weapon is Void Blasters. They are hit scans, so they're automatically the best PD in game. Versus fighters. Yeah, they're probably really good against fighters. Although they do have a bit of inaccuracy, but I mean, should be fine anyways. I think Inimical's only purpose is to bully face ships. Well, it's technically a point defense weapon, so... And for 10 ordnance points, if it's just bullying face ships, then it's kind of bad. It's got to be at least good at point defense too, right? Alright, how close are we? Okay, give it like one more day. There we go. Alright, now let's try it, but not suck this time. Your builds are slightly less terrible. And that, I expect, will make all the difference. The Harbinger is still going to do nothing, so we're just going to have him hang out with the group in the little hug box. Probably don't want to do that just yet. It's a little too early, I think. Get him. Really, all 3 wasn't enough to finish it off. Alright, I was kind of hoping to save ammo there, but if all 3 of those is not going to finish it off, then I'm going to have to step in. You guys are in trouble. Right, hopefully if we keep them together like this, then they won't die to the assault units. You know, I should probably just... These things seem to have frontal shields. I guess I need to get behind... It's kind of odd, but I guess I need to flank the frigates. Kind of unusual, but alright. I mean, I guess I can't do that if it just phases through it. And of course, an Omen immediately dies after I try to get them to group up so that they don't die. The timing there is impeccable. Yeah, even the Cobra landed one of those. Nice. Okay, and... There we go. With my repair unit, I can take on Overseer units. Okay, maybe if I can get it... Yeah, it's going to turn a bit towards the Wasps. Okay. So I still overloaded it. But at least half of my shots actually hit the armor instead of getting wasted on the shield. See if I can get this guy. Maybe I want to get those. If I fly over... Wait, so these wasps are escorting me right now. So if I just fly next to this stuff, they'll do the killing for me until they leave. And now I have to do it myself anyways. And of course, actually hitting these things with antimatter blasters is kind of hard because their hitboxes are ambiguous. I guess I'll stick to some... No, I'm going to take these out. I got this. Put me in, Chief. There we go. Really? Really? You're telling me it survives the... Fine. Well, I didn't want to kill him anyways. Okay, but these ones I do want to kill, for sure. Yes. Seriously, how are their hitboxes so small that I didn't hit any of them with that? Come on. That's just ridiculous. It's outright nonsensical. Nonsense. Alright, now the Paragon's just showing off with its abyssal glare. Ooh, I've got a weapon that doesn't miss. Yeah. Uh-huh. Friggin'. Show a little more consideration to your superior officer, maybe. Alright, even the small ones give you 2 of these. For a frigate. That feels like a bit overkill. Okay, so this is a consistent issue where apparently the hitbox is too small for you to actually hit enough of them, enough of your blasters to actually kill it. But where... I'm aiming right at like the center of this thing. And you're telling me it missed. That's just outright a falsehood. You're lying. Taking me straight to Liarsville. Do these things have a dodge stat? Apparently. It's starting to look like it. I mean, of course, that doesn't exist in Starsector, but it sure feels like it right now. Hey, at least the Astrals are finally getting a chance to be good. Let's go clean that guy up. Yes, do in fact try to engage those things. The source of all our misery. Oh, the Astral managed to do it on its own. Nice. But yeah, you can see the Astrals seem to be running into less issues now that I've given them some capacitors. Well, maybe I can get up behind this guy. I can. I'd love to shoot those things, but it's apparently a waste of effort. Because one antimatter blaster is not going to do anything. And if I try to hit 4, well, it's still not going to do anything because it's going to miss. Yeah, the Harbinger's really not contributing much. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the Harbinger also needs an S-Modded repair unit. Maybe that would fix the issues. Maybe that's the secret sauce. That's what Mr. Krabs has in the Krabby Patty secret formula. A repair unit on the Harbinger. I mean, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It fits in with the lore. Let's get over here. Overseer unit. Well, if I can sneak up behind it... Oh, wait, no, it's got an Omni Shield. I can overload it. Guess that's about it. Oh man, all of those got shot down. That's pretty impressive on their part. That was a whole astral barrage. Okay, Okay, let's take you out because you're being a pain. At least overload you. Yeah, running out of peak performance does seem to be one of the issues here. Wait. Hold on. Come on, overload it, please. No? Alright. Ow. Man, look at this mess. That's a threat for you. Okay, can I get behind this guy? I can. Okay, maybe let's drop this and instead kill on this guy. Go kill mode. Yeah, okay. That's not lining up quite how I hoped it would. Nope, yeah, they're not really letting us get in there. Alright. Gonna have to do this the good old-fashioned way. I am running out of ammo. How are we doing worse this time? In the sense that we still haven't even taken out one of the fabricators. Even though nothing has changed aside from the fact that we lived longer. So we should be doing better, right? Is it because they have the nav buoy? I don't understand what's going on right now. Why is this so much worse than our situation before? That is the opposite of what should be happening. Living longer is probably bad unironically because you don't want them to stall you out. Right, but that's not been an issue before. Like, running out of peak performance is bad because then we lose. And I've been and before our fights, we just slowly work our way up and eventually kill them. No problem. Why are we having a problem now? Do the Astrals actually need the burst lasers, and if they don't, they just lack point defense? I'm getting a little confused here. What is going on? So I'm really not in the mood to fight this thing a third time. So I'd like to just clean it up now and get this over with. Yeah, I've only got one antimatter blaster that sells ammo. Not a whole lot I can do here besides my system. Seriously, what the hell is this? Everything went wrong after I tried the inimical emanation. That was clearly the wrong call. I should have at least brought some burst lasers with me so I could switch back. But I didn't think it would be this harsh. You're fighting too close to the fabs. I'm telling you, this is the same strategy we used before, where we had 0 problems fighting more of them than we are now. And it's not like I changed patches or anything. So I don't really know what's going on here. We'll just have to run more tests. It might actually just be that the lack of burst lasers means that they're not shooting down as many of the red swarms, and so they're recovering more combat readiness. It could be something as simple as that that's causing a difference here. As you can see right now, they're shooting at them. So maybe if they had burst lasers instead of these crappy little red things, these little laser pointers, then maybe then we would be doing better. You know? Paragon's going down. No, it doesn't matter that it's got 1 hull left. It's a Paragon. It's all in the shields. Did we lose the Anubis? We did. Because of course we did. Now the Astral's up front, and it's dying, and we are so close because the fabricators are mostly unattended now. But yeah, no, it looks like without the burst lasers we're not doing it. Maybe auto lances. Yeah, honestly, auto lances on the Astrals would do a lot better, wouldn't they? What do you think of creating a Discord server? I'll think about it. Probably not for the near future, though. Yeah, it seems like the inimical emanations are really only good for bullying phase ships, and pretty much nothing else. Hostile CR 94%. Let's see. This one's 84. 84. Yeah, so they're mostly recovering. I think I'm going to go equip these with a lot more point defense. If we're going to be fighting these guys, the Astrals are going to be loaded with point defense. And probably auto lances as well. Yeah, I mean 84 and 94 are going to look pretty similar if you with the 720p of this stream, they're probably going to look similar. I don't blame you. S-Mags, probably not going to go all the way and go S-Mags on the Astrals. It seems a bit overkill. Because you're kind of forced to commit to them instead of being flexible. Which is fine for like a Paragon, because I feel like this is a pretty solid build, but for the Astral it's pretty niche. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to go... I think I'm going to have to... like, this is... Even if we win, this is taking way too goddamn long. I don't want to do that. So I think I'm done here. Sorry guys, we're going to have to come back after we get our... We undo the changes to our builds. So we can actually fight you. I know. I'm as disappointed as you are that I can't kill you. Hold on, let's just use a little gravity slingshot. Or maybe there's something special about the black hole system that makes their fight harder, although I doubt it. Please replace the Harbingus. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Unfortunately. Another Anubis could be really good. The Anubis, it's doing pretty good. Harbingus, not so much. Actually, can I build the Anubis? That would be nice. No, all I can build is this useless Paragon. Which means that maybe there'll be one on the black market if I head over to Cologne. If we're lucky. Oh, right, I forgot. No. I'm not turning on my transponder, and you can't stop me. Again, that is one of the annoying things about the game, is that when you select a gate that's in a habitated system, it would be nice if it asked you, hey, would you like to turn your transponder on? Because I do forget that quite a bit. Now, I'm pretty sure we had this same Paragon build last time, and it worked fine. Yeah, of course, I show up for no reason because they don't have it. Come on, Tritachyon, you're supposed to be the Ruthless Mega Corporation. You're telling me you don't have same-day shipping? You don't have a subscription service that will let me the privilege of purchasing whatever ship I want? Come on now. Get with the times. Rate them again for not having Anubis. Well, I'm not that petty. Yeah, they don't have... You guys don't have my favorite toy. Prepare for saturation bombardment. Civilian casualties. Deserved. Reasonable crash... Most reasonable crash out. Who else sells the Anubis? I think it's just Tritachyon, yeah. And if we go F2... Now, this doesn't guarantee that it only shows up for this faction, but it does say it's recommended here. So it might be possible to find them at Independence as well. So yeah, these were not helpful. Wait, what if we go Void Blasters on this thing? I don't think it has the flux to support it, but... let's give it a shot. Yeah, look at the flux go up. But it does run out. So there is that. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Iridile. How much does it reload? 4 at a time. Alright. No, I'm not going to S-mount magazines on these things. They don't have the flux to support it at all. I'm going to do turret gyros. Actually, do I have more auto lances? Wait, am I out? Is that it? I only have 3 more, huh? Well. I guess I'll just get another burst laser. While we're at it, let's get another burst laser. There we go. Now this is a build. Beautiful. Flawless design. Oh, that's right. I don't even have the... I only have 4 tridents anyways. I would need to go get more if I want to use them. I guess I could go with more longbows. Like so. Yeah, this could work. Heck, while we're at it, we can put some mining lasers back here. That seems reasonable. For the kind of threat we're facing, you need stabilized shields on this thing. Well, it's 15 ordnance points and it reduces the flux cost by a lot. So yeah, I would say it's worth it. It's 210 for 15. Get the mining lasers, get the burst lasers, got the auto lances. Now this is going to take out some of those swarms. I'll say hydras might be better because like somebody said, the shields are probably don't seem like the big part of the threat. Seems like they rely a lot more on armor and hull. But do I want to change them out? Nah. I think it's fine. And it's only going to get better if I can get turret gyros on both of them. It's 25% extra point defense damage. More damage against frigates. Alright. That should bring us back up to our fighting capacity. Although maybe, is there something I can replace it with? Not really. Hegemony inspectors. Look at that. Yeah, it's really just the hegemony. Alright. So I said this might be the last one, but I think I'm actually going to have to go back on that. I think I've got at least one more stream in me for this run before I start the next one. We're not like, we got distracted by Tritachyon. Didn't perform too well against some of them, so we had to change up our builds a bit, but yeah, didn't quite get to do as much fighting. But alright. I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to call it here. We'll pick this up again on Friday. Well, we'll probably do chat versus threat on Friday, and then pick this back up on Saturday or on Sunday. So thank you all for showing up. Hope you had a good time. Please sat bomb my civilian infrastructure money. Do not forget to enjoy the sauce. That's correct. Alright, I'll see you all next time.